welcome. I am so excited. I'm actually in my new studio. It is not completely set up yet, so that's why I'm only showing like one corner of it, but so excited. We're just getting closer and closer to my official open date of Just Be True, where we're going to do Reiki healings, intuitive teachings, intuitive reads, and so much more. So excited about this. So, anyway, today on our podcast today, there's something that we just don't talk about enough along our spiritual path. We talk about awakening, expansion, and intuition. What we don't always talk about is how to hold all of that together. Because the truth is, without grounding, spiritual growth can start to overwhelm, disorient, and even disconnect. So today, we're going to explore what it means to be grounded in a spiritual practice and why this might be the missing piece to your journey. So stay tuned. So, welcome back to Just Be True, a soul led podcast. I'm Summer, and for more than a decade, I've helped hundreds of women navigate deeply transformative life experiences such as career transitions, grief, healing after major life changes like divorce and loss, and by reconnecting them with their inner voice and spiritual awareness through energy healing, meditations, intuitive practices, and teachings. I support them in realigning with their truth, rebuilding confidence, and learning to trust themselves in a whole new way. So I hope this episode's offer you some peace today. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any upcoming episodes. And that's geared to support you through all those important transitions in life. And today, we're diving into a topic that is both foundational and transformative: grounding. Grounding oneself spiritually. And grounding is a practice that connects us with the earth and aligns our energy and promoting balance and well-being. So actually, the definition of grounding is a process of connecting energetically to the earth to stabilize and balance our physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies, right? So grounding is a vital practice to maintain overall well-being, as it plays a critical role in stabilizing and balancing our physical, emotion, and spiritual states. So let's explore these. The first thing I want to talk about is our nervous system. Grounding helps to alleviate stress and repair a damaged and stressed nervous system. By reducing dissonance and depolarization of the nerves, grounding promotes a calmer and more balanced state of being, right? And then the next one to talk about outside, the next benefit is the reduction of stress. By connecting with the earth, grounding can signify reduction in stress levels. This connection helps to dissipate, helps get rid of, can't say the word, helps get rid of the excess energy and tension, leading to a more relaxed and centered state. And I'm going to tell you, some of us with the jobs that we have out there, the job that I used to have out there, that just brought so much stress onto my nervous system, onto my physical and emotional self. Right? Grounding was a great way to help reduce that stress. Another thing is that grounding helps with is our electrical balance. So grounding can minimize electrical interference from electronic devices, which is increasingly important in the technology-driven world that we live in. How many of us have one of these, right, with us all the time in our back pocket, or in our front pocket, or in our hands, or holding them? We have them all day long, right? So by increasing our grounding, we can reduce the impact of these electronic interferences in our bodies. And a great method for that is to sit outside on the ground in the middle of a copper hoop. I know that sounds crazy, but it's great. And for instance, I have a hula hoop, and the only thing I've done is I've wrapped it with copper wire and I set it on the ground and I get in the middle of that hula hoop and I just sit there and I allow the magic to just take place. So we'll talk more about that later. Right? Another one is energetic stability. So grounding provides a sense of stability and security, helping to anchor us in the present moment. And this is particularly beneficial if you feel overwhelmed or disconnected. Another one is repolarization. In cases where you feel an extreme pull into the ground, techniques such as sunbathing, oh, who loves sunbathing? The exposure to the sun can help repolarize and balance your body's energy. Oops, sorry. Oh, another one is connecting to nature. So grounding fosters a deeper connection to the natural world, which can enhance our senses of belonging and peace. Lying on the grass, on the bare earth with a spine on the ground, in a simple yet effective way to achieving this connection. It's an amazing way to achieve that connection. So overall, grounding is a powerful practice that supports our health and our well-being by harmonizing our energy with the Earth's natural frequencies. But we are far from done. There's so much more to talk about. So we're going to talk about the tools for grounding. There are many tools that you can use for grounding, and some of these you've probably heard of. So the main one that probably most of us hear about is crystals. So there are several crystals that can help grounding, including obsidian, tourmaline, black kyanite, bloodstone, and so many more. And to help you out, I'm going to add a more detailed list in the show notes so you don't have to sit here and try to keep them down, right? So, but when we talk about the grounding stones, we normally hear about the darker, more dense crystals, which are extremely supportive in this area. But for discussion today, I would like to talk about a lighter stone that is stabilizing, gentle with deep anchoring abilities, and earth-based, but still spiritually expansive and often overlooked for grounding. And that is the desert road selenite. So the desert road selenite, it helps you settle into yourself. It has a cleansing power that rejuvenates. So this rejuvenating stone infuses the aura with light to dissolve densities in the body's pathways, restoring balance to your chakras. It grounds your energy into the earth and stabilizes harmony in all aspects of life. And what I love most about this crystal is that it doesn't ground you in a heavy way. It doesn't pull your energy down to make you feel dense. Instead, it helps your energy settle. It brings a sense of calm to your mind, clarity to your thoughts, and a gentle anchoring back into your body. It carries the energy of both air and water, and it reminds us that you don't have to choose between grounded and being connected, that you can actually do both. And towards the end of this segment, we're going to talk about that just a little bit more from personal experiences that I've had. But I love the desert rose stone. I have a large one sitting on my desk at home, and I just admire it so much, and it's so helpful. So another thing I'm going to talk about is aromatherapy. One of my favorite things to incorporate into my day-to-day is aromatherapy. I have it in my office. I have it in my home. I have it in my workspace. I even have it here in my studio. Love it. Absolutely love it. So some great aromatherapy options can support grounding in different ways. Cedarwood, it offers a sense of safety and stability, while vetiver provides a deep, earthy, rooted feeling, and frankincense acts as a bridge between spiritual and physical. And lavender, oh, who doesn't love lavender? Lavender brings a calming, soothing presence. And I actually use lavender quite a bit here in the studio with my practices and my clients. So, my personal favorite, though, which I haven't mentioned yet, is rosemary. The scent that not only calms but also brings clarity and awareness. Rosemary helps clear the mental fog, brings you out of that floaty state and back into presence and alertness. And there's something about the aroma that just settles so deeply with me. Like, I have a huge rosemary bush in my front yard, and I will go out there and just pick a couple of the sprigs off and just smell them and just enjoy them. It is just, I don't know, something about the rosemary just, oh, it's just so connection for me, and I just love it. So, but I do want to encourage you to take a look at the show notes. I do have a beautiful, grounded, and clear blend of essential oils that you can create at home that you can use during your own grounding practices. And I'm going to tell you, if there's another scent out there that calls to you, that resonates with you, by all means, incorporate it into your practices. There's nothing wrong with that. Another thing I want to talk about, and the reason I'm like separating this out, because you may say, well, some of that doesn't like combine with the groups that you have. This is very singular thing, but it's because of the power and the abilities that it has. So I'm bringing it out very separately, and that is copper. Because copper is a conductor, it can redirect and redispense current. And if copper is connected to the earth, it can redirect your energetic energy into the earth. I mean, that's amazing. Of course, we know it can be used for grounding for our homes and other things, but it's also very helpful to use for grounding for ourselves. So it supports the flow of energy and helps it move, especially if your energy is felt lagging or stagnant. It can amplify the energy, enhance the flow of energy, and offer support for balanced energetic pathways. I mean, samples of that, of uses, is like the hula hoop that I mentioned earlier. You can get copper pyramids and you can set them under your table, or you can meditate with them right with you. Copper wire, and find unique and wonderful ways to incorporate copper wire, or even copper plates, or even setting copper on a plate, right, to help with that. So whatever ways that you can find to incorporate it, I strongly use it. I use it here in the studio. That copper hoop that I spoke about earlier, I will use it here for my clients during Reiki sessions if I feel that they need a little bit more pull for that grounding, because it reminds the body. This is key. Copper reminds the body how to stay open while staying grounded. It helps guide energy back into alignment. It's an amazing, amazing tool that you can use, and easy to get. Maybe expensive in some areas, but easy to get. Another thing, and this is something that I am working on to incorporate into my practices here in the studio, is herbal teas. So it's a beautiful way to incorporate a grounding ritual for full embodiment. Chamomile, lemon balm, and rose trees are amazing for this. I personally like the blend of chamomile and turmeric. And so chamomile softens the system while turmeric brings you back into the body and helps reduce inflammation. And this combination is perfect if you're an overthinker, emotionally overwhelmed, or feeling disconnected, or even floaty. So chamomile says, you're okay, you're safe. Or turmeric says, come on back to the body. Instead of just calming the mind, this combination helps you feel present. Again, in the show notes, I'll have a very simple recipe that you can use for this. But for the ritual, it's very simple. You make your tea, you find a space to sit and just be. You hold the cup, You feel the warmth in your hands. You let the chamomile soften your breath and allow the turmeric to bring your awareness back into your body. You're not trying to ground yourself. You are simply returning. Just breathe, sip, and enjoy. So another thing that we're starting to hear more and more about are newer grounding products, such as grounding sheets, blankets, apparel. And these products are all based on the concept of earthing. They're designed to connect your body with the earth's electrical charge, usually through conductive products like silver or carbon. For instance, grounding sheets and blankets, they use a grounding plug that plugs into the grounding port of your outlet. And grounding shoes, which are made of natural materials, and they work well for you if you're going to be walking on natural surfaces, right? Well, there is some science behind all the idea of physical grounding of the body, but it's important to understand and know that grounding is not something that you buy. It's something that you experience. So, and I will be honest, I do offer a grounding blanket in my healing practices, and some people can truly tell the difference in it. But it's about the experience. It's not about searching for the grounding, and it's not about, trying to find it. It's about being in it. And the true grounding comes from your own awareness, your presence, and your connection to your body. Grounding is about becoming aware and supporting that. And yes, there are tools that can help support it, but it all comes down to you. So grounding should not be something that you are looking for, something that you're trying to create or you're trying to bring into your reality. It's something that you experience. And maybe as we go on, hopefully maybe some of the stories at the end will help kind of resonate with that a little bit for the experience of the grounding. But before we get to there, let's talk about some methods that are used for grounding, right? So one is, we just spoke about earthing. So walking barefoot on natural surfaces like grass, sand, or soil, it creates a direct connection between your body and the earth. And it's simple yet powerful way to shift of the mind and back into physical presence using sensation, contact, and awareness as that anchor. So grounding is all about anchoring into the present moment. So in the benefits of this, it supports relaxation, encourages nervous system balance, and enhances natural sense of grounding and connection. Another great method is meditation and visualization. It can be a powerful way to support grounding, especially when it brings your awareness back into the body. So simple practice like body scanning can help you notice where you're holding tension and where your attention has drifted, allowing you to gently return to the present moment. And visualizations such as imagining roots extending into the earth can deepen the sense of that connection. But it works best when it comes from a place of presence rather than trying to reach. So grounding is being present in the body and being present with yourself, right? Enhancing body awareness supports your nervous system and strengthens the connection between physical presence and spiritual awareness. I mean, it truly does. Another great method, and one that I use during my guided meditations quite often, is breath work. The breath is the most accessible tool for grounding that you have. Intentional breathing helps bring your awareness out of thought and into the body, creating a natural anchor into the present moment. It encourages calm, supports emotional balance, and strengthens your ability to remain present and grounded. So an example of breath work would be like breathe in 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. forgot my numbers. So let's just do it real quick, right? So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 4, 5, and 6. One more time without counting. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. Feel the relaxation across the body. Feel the tension release in your shoulders. Feel the reconnection with you. That's breath work. And there's other techniques as well that may work just as fabulous for you. Another one is nature immersion. Immersing yourself in nature invites your system to slow down and recalibrate. Whether it's the rhythm of the water, the stillness of the trees, or the feeling of the ground beneath you, nature provides a natural anchor back into the presence. It encourages relaxation, supports emotional balance, and deepens your sense of grounding and connection to both self and environment. So it's beautiful. As we already mentioned, crystals and stones can also be used as anchors, bringing your awareness back into the body through touch and presence and intention. So stones like hematite, like tourmaline, smoky quartz are often associated with grounding, helping you feel more steady and supported as you move through your day. A lot of people put them in their pockets. If you're a female, a lot of times we put them in our bras. And just knowing that they're there and that you set an intent for that stone is many times enough to help you have small grounding opportunities throughout your day. I mean, because they're a physical reminder, right, of what we should do. So there's many ways you can integrate grounding into your daily lives through routines, mindful moments, and journaling. And so routine practices, you can incorporate small, consistent grounding movements into your day, whether it's in the morning, setting the tone in the morning when you first wake up, or in the evening to settle your system. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be simple as taking a few intentional breaths, stepping out of the moment and pausing to notice where your body is before moving into the next part of your day. And over time, these small practices create a sense of stability that carries you, so you're not having to carry yourself. You're allowing being present and being in the moment with where you are in your body and how it's settling in. Mindful moments are great. Encourages, engaging in practices such as yoga and Tai Chi. Allow grounding to become something experienced through movement. So these practices bring awareness to the body, and the breath, and the present movement, helping you harmonize physically and energetically states without forcing the stillness. Some of us, and I used to be one as well. It was very hard for me to be in that stillness, in that quiet. And so engaging in yoga or Tai Chi or even mindful walks, right, where you clear your mind and you experience the walk and everything that's around you. Because sometimes those quiet moments, I'll be honest, sometimes they're just too much. And we need something else to help move us through that. And it's perfectly okay. Right? And even gentle stretching or slow intentional movement can support this connection. So you don't always have to sit there and be like, oh, right? You can do other things to help with that. One of my favorites, and one that I recommend many times, is journaling. Journaling offers a way to reflect on your experience with grounding and how they show up in your daily life. Now, It's not about overanalyzing, it's about noticing. Noticing when you feel more present, when you feel more steady, and what supports you in that. What supports you in being that present. And over time, this awareness helps you build a better understanding of what grounding looks and feels like in your own experiences. So journal those moments so you can connect with them and understand them a little bit more clearer. Because a lot of times when we can journal, and I don't care if it's written journaling, I don't care if it's a video or voice journaling, whatever it is, right? But pay attention to it. Go back and listen to it so you can connect with that and so you can learn. So just some personal experiences that I would like to share. There was a time on my journey where I kept hearing over and over again, you need to be more grounded. You need to be more grounded. I mean, and like many of us, I went straight to the visualization, picturing roots extending from my feet and down into the earth. And I'm like, yes, I'm grounded. That's all I need to do. And while that helped to some extent, I mean, just a little bit, the bottom half of me felt very heavy, right? That's what it did. I was still very floaty and up in the air. I was still, lived in that upper realms, vibrations, quite often. And to, like I said, to some extent, it did help, but I still felt like I was trying to ground rather than actually experiencing it. And so when you're trying to ground, it's not going to work, right? You got to experience it. You got to feel it all the way through. And it wasn't until I had a Reiki session and the Reiki practitioner told me, all this energy is sitting on your top half. You got to pull it all the way through your body. You don't just send the energy down. You allow it to move through the entire body. You feel the energy of your crown chakra. You feel the energy of your third eye chakra. You feel the energy of your throat chakra. And you feel them all pulling and blending into one another to go down. Through the entire body, through all of your chakras, from the top all the way down into the earth. And when I realized that, it shifted everything for me. Because grounding stopped being something I was imagining and actually became something that I could actually feel. The flow of the energy moving through me, not just out of me. And that's when grounding took on a completely different meaning for me. And then just recently, I had another experience that even deepened this even more. And it was amazing. I was on a cruise and I found myself spending hours alone just looking out at the ocean. And believe me, I loved this. I was not lonely. I was not upset. I was embracing. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't trying to receive anything. I was just being with it. The vastness, the calm, the unknown, the nothingness, and yet the sense that everything was there at the same time. And there was something so grounding about this. It wasn't heavy, not dense, but expansive and deeply settling, very nurturing, very, very, I felt like nature, that, God or source, whatever, giving me a nice big hug. I felt like home. And it reminded me of times in the past where we used to do a sailboat liveaboard for days, and that same feeling of slowing down, disconnecting from everything external and reconnecting with something much deeper, much, much deeper. But this time it took on a different a different meaning, or a different presence. And what stood out for me in this moment was how powerful it is to simply be present with what appears to be nothing and realize is actually everything. I mean, it was beautiful. It was amazing. A vast of nothingness that is actually everything. I mean, it still like gets me choked up because it was such an amazing experience. But what I've come to realize is that grounding isn't about being smaller or heavier or less spiritual. It's about becoming more expansive in your own awareness, in your connection with spirit, and realizing that being a living embodied being is what it's all about. You've heard the phrase, if you've been in this space long enough, you've heard the phrase, we are souls having a human experience. And yes, that is absolutely true. But what often gets missed is that remembering you are a soul is not meant to pull you out of the human experience, because you are here for the human experience. It's meant to bring the awareness back into it. So being grounded and remembering that you are a soul, pulling that energy all back through your physical self, is bringing that awareness back into the human experience. Because your soul, your higher self, that's where you're rooted. And grounding is not about disconnecting from that. It's about allowing that connection to fully live within your body. There can be this tendency on your spiritual path to try to stay up there, to stay connected to whatever feels elevated, expansive, also very outside of your body. But what I've come to understand is that we're not here to fly above the experience. We're not here to be up there and be floaty. We're here to bring that expansion into form, into physical form. To allow the awareness, the knowing, and the energy of your soul to move through it, to be expressive through it, and to live through it. That's what it's all about. And through my own connection with my higher self and through moments of reflection and stillness, I have truly come to understand that we grow and expand here. As we grow and expand here in this physical space, our soul, our higher self is also expanding. There's no separation between the two. You're not leaving something behind. You're not missing out on something greater. It's all happening together. You're not missing out from being grounded. You're not going to miss out on any growth or any spiritual experience or any knowing from being grounded. It's actually very much the quite opposite. Grounding allows you to experience the full depth of who you are, not just as a soul, but as a soul who's fully alive, fully present, and fully expressed in this human experience. That's pretty amazing. If you can get there and you can stay there in that state, it's freaking amazing. Thank you for joining me on this journey of the art of grounding. Remembering, grounding is a personal practice that can be tailored to fit your unique needs and lifestyle. staying connected to the earth, and let it guide you to be a place of balance and harmony. I encourage you to go out and find those grounding rituals that resonate the most with you. Try out different ones for different reasons and for different needs. It's not all one fits all. If this resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone who may be looking for insight on their own grounding practices. Be sure to check the show notes, because I've said it many times, for your list of crystals, your aromatherapy blend, and your chamomile turmeric tea recipe. You'll find them very useful, and take what's right for you, right? And if you're a woman moving through change, remembering who you are while learning how to fully embody that in your life, I want you to know you are not alone in this journey. There is space for you here to be grounded, to be supported, and to come home to yourself in a deeper way. And this is the work we walk through together. You don't have to do it alone, right? And as always, just be true to you. Alignment will follow. And if you're being called to go deeper into this work, you can find my current offerings and resources and ways to connect with me in the show notes. Everything is there for you to explore on your own time, in your own way. Only take what resonates with you. You don't need to do it all. Just trust what feels right for you. And I will see you for episode 7 in 2 weeks. So episode 7 is You Don't Have to Chase Your Intuition. And then is episode 8, which will wrap up our first final season 1 of Coming Home to Yourself, a season of reflection and integration. And then we'll be taking about 2 months off, preparing for season 2, which is going to bring many, many more wonderful intuitive knowledge and gifts and experiences your way. So thank you. And until next time, just be true.